Tonight, folks, I want to talk about Games Workshop and what I would suggest is their current sales method when it comes to releasing new models, new armies, which is these early release, I think they've even called them of like pre-release or like early releases, which are these new boxes basically which have an alternative cover codex in. They have generally the new models that are coming out for that particular army. And they have some like data cards. They might even have some dice in, I'm not sure. And the newest one which is coming out is the new Astra Militarum with the new style models that are in it. And the reason I want to talk about this is it cropped up in a conversation on Twitter over the weekend, which essentially, to paraphrase, said that I think that these are a bit of a slippery slope. I think they're a terrible practice. It's wrong having kind of this being the only way you can buy the codex, the only way you can buy the new minis, sort of almost putting them behind a paywall, and it's a terrible practice and we shouldn't support it. And by not buying these boxes, essentially it's sending GW a bit of a message. And I read that, and then I read all of the people's replies and the comments and the answers after it and stuff like that. And there were some people supporting that initial comment, and there were some people obviously very much against that initial comment. And it made me think about like, what did I think about it? Like, do I think they're a good thing? Do I think they're a bad thing? Does it really matter what I think? And for me, essentially, I don't really see them as a bad thing. I think I should kind of let me show you what they are, and then we can kind of like we'll talk about it from there. This is basically the something that Warhammer Community put up their article. I think this is on Sunday because it goes up for pre-order this week. And this is essentially what's inside the box. You don't get any dice. I got that bit wrong there, but you do. So you get. Look, I think that's the box with this Cadia stands across the front there. This is the alternative cover codex. You get some transfer sheets in there as well. You get these data cards, and then you basically get these models inside the box. And these, I believe, are all new sculpts for the Astra Militarum Force. It says it's got 28 completely new miniatures. It includes 20 Cadian shock troops, a 5-man Cadian command squad, a sentinel with armoured and scout sentinel configurations, and 2 field ordnance teams. The vanguard of a revamped Astra Militarum range. So these are brand new for the first time in such a long time. Brand new minis. And then obviously these are the minis here. I won't go through them now, but I'm sure if I'll flick them while I'm talking. But if you want to take a look at them, look on the Warhammer community site, and you'll be able to see them. But this is the point that maybe is the point that people are talking about. The box includes an exclusive copy of the Codex Astra Militarum with a soft touch cover starring Lord Solar, Leontis, as well as 63 data cards, blah, blah, blah. Absolutely everything contained within is currently only available in this set and won't be sold separately until next year. The army set has a 13-day pre-order window, and it'll hit the shelves on Black Friday. And it's that point there that I think was the point of the original message, where it says everything contained within is currently only available in this set and won't be sold separately until next year. And that's where people were kind of getting their knickers in a twist, shall we say, because basically if you want to buy the new Astra Militarum Codex, you have to buy this box. If you want the new models, you have to buy this box. And they were saying it's kind of a predatory practice. It's creating this fear of missing out, and that people shouldn't support it. And if this was true, if this was the only place you could buy them, then I probably would agree with the comments. However, it's not the only place you can buy them, because as it says in there, they're going to be available separately in the new year. January, I would probably hazard a guess, like about a month later. Very similar to what they did with the Leagues of Votann stuff recently. And essentially what they're doing is these are early release boxes. And for those that are really, really keen, who really want them, they can pre-order them. There's a 14-day or a 13-day pre-order window where they can order them. And if you don't want them now, or you don't want everything that's in there, or you're happy to wait, if you wait about a month, you'll be able to pick them up separately and just buy the bits and pieces you want. So if there was stuff in this box that was exclusive to this box and it would never be available anywhere else, I would probably agree with those comments. But I don't see this as necessarily that that bad a deal or that big a problem. There'll be a bit of a saving from this box over buying them all separately, no doubt. And I get that they will be limited in numbers, but then that's what makes them exclusive. That's what makes them kind of like a bit different. If they weren't exclusive, if they were just up for sale, like the whole like forever kind of thing, then that exclusive codex or that, you know, that kind of limited edition codex cover ceases to become kind of anything of importance, if you like. It doesn't really kind of like sort of, it doesn't really matter if they're only available for a period of time in this box and then they're available to buy later. At the end of the day, if you want to order them, I always find this is a bit of a weird thing. If you want to order them, you need to be ready at that 10 o'clock when the orders go live. You need to kind of get in and order them online, or you need to speak to your friendly local gaming store and like kind of let them know that you're interested and assume that they're getting enough orders in, which they generally know before pre-orders go live. And I just feel that, like, I don't know whether I'm kind of mellowing in my old age a little bit here, and I'm not a GW kind of like apologist. I'm not really even a GW supporter. I don't really play their games. I just feel that sometimes that there's a bit of a wind in the air, if you like, where people just want to pile on GW for every little thing. Do they do some stuff that I don't agree with? 100%. But is this one of them? I don't really think it is, and I kind of looked at it and thought, like, is this really as bad as some people are making it out to be? I'm not really sure what it is. I'm not sure what's predatory about it. Does it create a bit of a fear of missing out? Well, I guess it does a bit, but you're not really missing out if you want this stuff down the line. It will be available kind of to pick up later. Like, do we see this in other things? Like, absolutely. If you want to buy a ticket to go to see a concert, like a music festival or something like that, there are a limited amount of tickets, and you have to be there and get in there and buy your ticket if you want to attend. Like, people don't complain about sort of Glastonbury Festival and say, oh, well, there's loads of people who wanted to go. You should put it on for extra days for the people that couldn't attend the first one. Like, there are other examples of this in life where sometimes you know, if you really want something, you've got to make the effort to kind of get in and get there. However, in this instance, if you miss out on that, like, kind of fancy box that'll probably just sit on a shelf, you'll still be able to kind of pick up the stuff afterwards. GW have even said themselves that it's not recommended for kind of matched player whilst there is just this pre-release out, because essentially the only way you can field at like a 2,000 point army generally is by buying multiple boxes of these things. Granted, people will be able to use their old Astra Militarum stuff as well, but that codex will be out, you know, very soon afterwards for general release. And there are a lot of tournaments, especially the bigger tournaments, have basically said that you can't even use a new army until it's had its first FAQ, just to stop some of these kind of broken lists and stuff getting out there into the wild. So to kind of round it off and to kind of hand it back to you and ask you what you think, is this really that bad? I mean, that's what the kind of thumbnail said. Like, is it really that bad? Take the price aside, we're not really talking about the price. Take the model content aside, we're not really talking about the models. It's either something that you can afford and you think it's good value, or you don't really like it and you think it's too expensive. Take all that stuff to one side. The thing I'm trying to kind of get my head around is, are people justified in getting themselves a bit worked up and annoyed about the fact that this box comes out early, maybe a month early, and that's where you can, if that's what you're looking forward to, that's the first place you can buy it, and if you miss out, you're going to have to wait a month and then pick it up a bit later. Is that really that bad in the grand scheme of things? Surely there's more important things in life to get worried about than waiting for a month for your book. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think I'm being naive about this? Am I missing a really glaringly obvious point that would make me go, all right, now I understand, kind of thing? Let me know what you think. I'd love to know down in the comments.